What is the most f***ed up thing you saw someone do in a public place? Saw a coworker take off his shoe and sock, pull up his foot, and bite his toenails during a work meeting at the office. What the actual fuck? COVID is over, they said. Return to the office, they said. The exposure to corporate culture will be good for you, they said. Come to the Christmas party, have a few laughs. I know, right? I once witnessed a coworker pick their nose and proceed to inspect their findings like they were conducting an archaeological excavation, all while maintaining eye contact with our boss. I used to deliver janitorial supplies to businesses. Part of my route was in the Kensington section of Philadelphia. It's basically zombie land there and the whole neighborhood is filthy. I doubt people can even live there. Needless to say, I've seen a lot. But the one thing I saw that really stuck with me was seeing a naked man covered in his own excrement and eating it. He was clearly very disturbed. No one paid him any mind either. It was surreal. I watch those YouTube videos where the guy just strolls back and forth Kensington to showcase the zombieland. It's horrifying and makes me feel very thankful for my living environment. It's sad because what it's really showcasing is the fact that there's two different Americas. There's the America we want the world to see, and then there's reality. It's also important to remember that all those zombies are people. As fucked up as they are, there's still a human being in there. It could be anyone's family member. All those people are on death's doorstep, and the reality of it is, nobody does shit to try to deal with the problems that cause it. It's crazy. Hello there, welcome. Ready for the weirdest stuff in public? Subscribe and share your most twisted encounter below. We won't judge, promise. Just let us know, what's the craziest thing you've witnessed out there? The wilder, the better. At a bike rally in Alabama in the 90s. Woman. Butt-ass naked. Bent over a picnic table. Getting nailed. Next to a sign that said trying to get pregnant. Shoot your shot. Line of 10 guys. I passed right on by that one. That was my mother. Son, is that you? Yes, it's me, Dad. By passed right on by, do you mean to the front of the queue? I once saw a homeless man rinse his mouth out with water from the windshield cleaning bucket at a gas station. What in the actual crackhead chronicles fuck shit is that? Yay, like why not walk in the gas station and use the bathroom water? Cause his cracked out ass thinks the mirror inside is watching him. I once pulled up to get gas and there was a man taking a dump in one of those buckets. I drove off to another gas station. I was working in a building under construction. One morning, we look across the street and watch a homeless lady jump from a 6-story parking garage and hit the street below. So sorry you witnessed that. My aunt was having a schizophrenic episode and passed away this way. I was going to my local mall once and I walked in. There is a huge fountain in the middle of the building with maintenance balconies and a glass dome at the top. It was like 75 feet up, and I walked over to a bench by that fountain and looked up, and there was a guy maybe in his 40s leaning over the edge of one of the balconies, and he must have slipped and fell because all of a sudden he fell at what looked like light speed and hit his head off the edge of the fountain. There was blood everywhere and maybe brains, but I'd about that. It was horrible. I'm sorry for your loss. Mental illness is brutal. I was waiting for a bus in the rough part of town when I heard two men having a full-blown argument on the other side of the bus stop. One was being extremely aggressive whilst the other sounded confused at the verbal lashing he was receiving. It went on for a couple of minutes and the meeker one was nearly in tears, so I decided to walk around the other side of the bus stop to take a look at what was going on. When I poked my head around the corner, the poor guy was crying but his aggressor was nowhere to be seen. I asked if he was okay, to which he said, "Yeah, don't worry about him, he's all talk." I nodded and turned around just as the nastier man re-emerged to berate his victim. Only it wasn't another person, it was the same guy shouting at himself with an alternate personality. Until you see these things up close, you don't realize how disturbing it must be to suffer from such mental health issues. That sounds terrifying. Hope he managed to get some help. Which one? Not common. Smoke what I can only assume was crack out of a broken light bulb on a public bus during the day. Likely meth. Source: once smoked meth out of a broken light bulb. Seemed like a bright idea at the time. This guy knows what's up. I once saw a guy try to roast a marshmallow over a burning trash can in the middle of a crowded city street. A scary-ass woman was yelling at people in a store. The manager told her to leave. She screamed insults at him as security escorted her out. When I left the store, she was still screaming at him. He was blocking her from going back into the store. Then she did something I never thought I'd see in my entire life. She reached into her pants, pulled out a bloody tampon and threw it at the manager. She missed, but it stuck to the glass door. She laughed as she ran off. I wanted to vomit. God damn it, fucking ugly shit. I never want to see anything like that again. Biological warfare. Nice. She could have legitimately gotten charged with that if she was caught. My friend had that charge against him because he threw a water balloon at a cop. The judge dropped it because all parties involved realized it was excessive, but he could have gone to jail. In Hungary it was quite big news that a random guy walked in an underpass and started giving a BJ to a passed out homeless/alcoholic guy. The effed up thing was that someone took a video of it and everyone saw the video. 21st birthday at a festival in FL called Longerato. Was incredibly drunk, but I'll never forget this, unfortunately. So, we're listening to a band called Humphreys McGee and everyone is having a good time. All is well. Heaven on earth. Until I turn around. There's a guy, late 30s or early 40s by himself, and he was having quite a time. He kept shoving his hand up his ass and licking his fingers afterwards. At some point he started chasing people and then some poor souls working security had to deal with him. You. I do love Humphreys. Not as much as that dude. Humphreys. Saw a young lady in line in front of me that, apparently, pre-partied for the show. It was a planetarium, and passed out on her feet. She fell to the side of the line rather than into someone behind her, and her head hit the floor first with a nauseating crack, and then she went into convulsions. I don't know how she fared after the ambulance loaded her onto a stretcher, but thought about that many times. She probably ceased making her fall, then continued to seize on the ground. Weird behavior before a seizure isn't uncommon. Yes. My dad is known to stumble a bit and look drunk right before he has a grand mal, tonic-clonic, seizure. And yes, he unfortunately has brain damage. How much is from the seizures and how much is from his head hitting things multiple times? We don't know. Head injuries commonly make you have a seizure. So it could have been either or. Saw a kid follow around a toad at a state park for a bit, pick it up, and ground it against a tree, eviscerating it in an instant. An adult immediately grabbed them and took them off, yelling as the kid didn't look bothered by the interaction at all. It was surreal and disturbing. Serial killer in the making 0-0. The kid who shot and killed some classmates at Oxford High School here in Michigan was like that, except he was a teenager and was torturing birds. He told his mom he was seeing demons in the kitchen. The parents got him no help as they were super involved in their own extramarital affairs. Even with all his now obvious issues, his parents bought him a handgun for his 16th birthday. He killed/wounded several classmates with it. The kid pleaded guilty and prosecution is going after the parents. The legal stuff is still going on. Really sad case. It's a shame innocent students paid the price and not the parents. Take a shit in the street in Paris. He just returned his baguette. This sound painful. Pain au chocolat. Having seen French toilets, I can see why someone would choose the street. I once saw a guy in Barcelona break dance so intensely that I swear I saw him try to spin on his head right into an unattended gelato cart. 15 years ago, I was at a gas station off a very busy road in suburban Virginia. There were 2 lanes of traffic, each way, with a median in the middle. Cars were going around 60 miles per hour. While pumping gas, I saw a car on the other side of the road, i.e., past 4 lanes of traffic, suddenly pull onto the shoulder and slam the brakes. A middle-aged man comes out. He runs to the back door, opens it, drags out a child, and starts beating the hell out the child with his fists. I assumed they were having an argument, but this was a fairly extreme assault on his minor child. I was obviously horrified. I was locked in place. People at the station saw this as well and we all started yelling, but we couldn't get there because there was 4 lanes of fast-moving traffic between us. He was really beating the heck out of this kid. Thank God, within 30 seconds a police car happened to pass, by total coincidence. The cops pull over, leapt out of the car, grabbed the guy, slammed him down onto the pavement with full force, cuffed him, stood him up, and slammed him down again against the hood of his car to be like WTF and question him. The police definitely roughed that guy far more than necessary, but I think they were emotionally charged given what they just witnessed. That moment is still burned into my mind to this day. Wish I could forget it. I hope that kid is okay. Every once in a while, I don't mind a little excessive force from the police.